right, everyone. Welcome back to the Ohio Bobcats Coaches Show with Jeff Boals. Coach, thanks for coming back. Obviously.
Yeah, thanks, Justin. Appreciate it. Good to see you.
So let's start with another game canceled. That's the second time this year. You had a game canceled at Miami yesterday against Northern Illinois. Was also canceled. Obviously, this season's unlike any other. What do you do when something like that comes up?
Yeah, I mean the only thing you can do, control what you can, and it was different than the first one. The first one we knew, you know, multiple days before. This one we were literally at Northern Illinois in the hotel when we got the word yesterday morning that they had a few positive tests and the game was being postponed. So it was a little different than the first one.
How do you change up your schedule now throughout the rest of the week when you come back from a game like that when you didn't even have the game?
Yeah, so we still took our shoot around time and went over and got the kids out of the hotel and got some shots up and got a sweat going just to let them get up and down the court a little bit to break the day up. Unfortunately, we were there all day. We didn't fly out till 6:30 Central Time last night, so we still got back at around 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time last night, and our kids are in school now, so classes are back, so different routine from that standpoint. And there's a women's basketball game today, so our practice time is earlier, and you're just juggling a lot of different things right now.
How do you think that breaks up maybe continuity that you have in the season when you have a game usually Tuesday or Wednesday and then Friday or Saturday? But now you had your last game was Saturday and now your next one's Friday. What is that layoff like?
Yeah, I mean, it's good sometimes and bad sometimes. I think, it's probably good if you have the day off in your home, right, where you're not traveling and, laying around the hotel all day. But I think the way we played against Kent State, you want to get out there and play again right away. So we were excited to play. Our guys had a great practice on Sunday, great preparation Monday. We had it out late Monday night. And, it's one of those deals right now, like you said, the craziness of COVID, and you just kind of go with the flow.
Hey, defense on three now. 1, 2, 3. Defense! Go!
You brought up that Kent State game. I know you were talking about last time. Defense is something that you wanted to improve on. Obviously, they had a good game shooting, but where do you think you could have improved the most defensively in that game?
Yeah, definitely rebounding. Rebounding was not very good, and you get out rebounded by 20 in a game, you're probably not winning that game too often, and unless you make a lot of shots. But I think just our gap defense, our awareness, coming into the game, we really didn't do a good job of following what we wanted to do going in, and we dug a deep hole, cut it to I think 8, probably 3 or 4 times in the second half, and really we had great looks, to kind of cut into the lead. We just didn't make them.
We talked about rebounding on the first episode. I want to go back to it. Where do you have to practice the most at getting better at rebounds? How do you do that?
Yeah, two things. Offensively, we got to make multiple moves. Too many times we're just kind of climbing up the defender's back. We're letting them block us out. The second thing, defensively, it's a matter of being physical, going to make contact. And a lot of times as a coach, it's a catch-22 of practicing rebounding, emphasizing it. Those type of drills are really physical. In this type of season right now, it's a fine line of how much you practice it, how much you emphasize it. But we had a great session on Sunday to show. We charted how many times guys had an opportunity to block out, how many times they actually did block out, and the missed opportunities. And it was too high of a number across the board to win a game.
What are some positives that you saw from the team? I know that JP and Ben Vanderplas both had good games, 23 and 24 points. What are some positives from that game?
Yeah, I think if you look at Jason Preston in the second half, he had I think 16 points, maybe 8 assists and 5 rebounds in the second half.
Right.
And I think he's really back now to being back at who he was before he got injured, which will help us going forward. But it's a matter of sharing the basketball, throwing the ball into the post. I didn't think we did that as much as we needed to take advantage of their double teams and lack of size that we had against them. So it's a learning experience, and we got to learn from it and go to the next game.
We talked about in the first episode that you guys were doing really well in terms of what each player is averaging from a starting standpoint, even guys coming off the bench. I think in that game, though, you had 2 guys that had a lot of points, 23, 24, like I mentioned, but no other player had more than 9. where do you want to get better, or is that okay if two guys are having a really good game and other guys are chipping in where they need?
Well, it's good when your defense is good, but when your defense isn't good, you need multiple scores. And I think looking back on it, like London McDay got some great shots.
Yeah.
Ben Rodgers got some great shots, and they didn't fall. And they were open looks. Those are looks we have to make. And I was happy with the offensive piece to it. Just didn't make enough shots.
Take me through the game on Friday. Some of the things that you guys are working on, focusing on for that game.
Yeah, we got to continue to evolve our defense and our rebounding. Definitely. Gap help on defense, our rotations, drives, defensively. But we played Ball State a couple weeks ago. It was one of the games we didn't have Jason. Fortunate enough to win it on the road. So it's gonna be a good game. They got one of their best players back, returning freshman of the year. So two different teams, two different looks, and should be a great game on Friday.
For the season going forward, obviously things are what they are when games get canceled and all that. Have you learned anything during the process of maybe I'll tweak this if I find out we don't have a game, or I'll tweak it even if we do or don't? Has anything changed from your perspective on a scheduling standpoint, or just how to approach this season?
It's like I said, there's no manual for it. So it's when a game gets canceled, you have to regroup and kind of move on to the next one. And I think the tough thing is you prepare for a team, watching tape, watching film, and then boom, games postponed. And as an assistant, those guys spend a lot of time, a lot of hours watching tape, getting game plans ready, edits, and it's like they got to pivot quick and move on to the next one. And now it's like two away games have been canceled.
Right.
So at some point we got to put those into the schedule. So now you got two more away games at the end of the year somewhere where you'd already have two of those knocked out. So now you're looking a little bit more travel than you probably would have had later in the year, which is not ideal. So
You guys are playing Ball State for a second time this year. You just mentioned that. Now you're starting to get to the point where you know what the MAC is kind of looking like. To you, what is your take on how the conference is looking so far at this point in the season?
Yeah, I think Toledo's really separated himself from everyone, and everyone else has 2, 3, 4 losses.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of season left. I think we're 3-4. So you potentially have 13 more games left, and you still play Bowling Green, Kent State, Akron. We don't play Toledo only once, unfortunately. But you still there's a lot of season left, and it's got to be a game by game. We got to continue to get better. And this is, we talked about it. This is kind of like the dog days, right? The late January, early February, where teams kind of separate themselves. And there's a lot of season left. We got to stay positive, go game by game, and really control what we can.
All right, Coach. Well, I appreciate your time as always. Looking forward to that game on Friday against Ball State. Good luck in that one.
All right, thanks, Justin.
All right, take care.